man in his own apartment. They only put her on it as manslaughter charge. That's murder, bro. I don't think it was manslaughter at all. It's like that. It goes beyond that. Oh, but just so it's clear, everybody, I did not date the girl knowing her parents were racist. If I'd have known that, I would have stayed the fuck away. Just make it clear. Anyways. But, yeah, the dude in California, man. I'm sorry, in Texas. Yeah. Yeah, they just... Shit. I don't know. You gotta leave another Pokemon or something? Hey, what a nigga who was thinking we song. Hey, we gonna knock it to the wheels, hold on. I'm gonna hella get a burrito tonight. Smoke weed every day. Yeah, but you gotta eat that soup. You can't. I know you feel like you can eat that shit, but don't upset your stomach. And then if you play your cards right, by later on dinner tomorrow night, you might be able to eat normal shit. I'm on the server called Arcturus, which is currently server number 1 if you log in. Sometimes it's shift around, but it's called Arcturus. I wouldn't recommend necessarily playing here because there's not a lot of English-speaking players, if that's what you're into, to try to do raids and shit. I just kind of took whatever server I could first log into because I didn't like how I had to wait for my shit to actually, because the American server, or the server where all the English players play, we had a wait list, and I was like, I didn't want to wait. For our lives to be over. Yes. Yes, I get it. I got it. So I was talking to Momo today, right? And she said, I could never be with the guy who has facial hair. I'm like, why? And she's like, well, I was like, okay, that's just your preference. She's like, yeah, the reasons why is because my mom told me if you kiss a guy that has facial hair, that's how you get acne. And I'm like, I don't mind that you don't want to date a guy with facial hair because that's your choice. And some people don't like it, and I get that. But, like, that is pure fucking ignorance. Then she was just trying to argue and shit. And she's like, well, what you have to understand is... And I'm like, no, you don't get acne that way. And I said, you remember when Trump said stuff about the Latino people, like, they're bringing certain men murderers or rapists and all the worst things in Mexico? Then she has a thing where she needs to be right. So since she said, well, it kind of is true, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. She's like, at first I was for Trump, but then I was like, nah. And I'm like, but then she didn't vote, so it didn't really matter anyway. So that was a hot mess, bro. What server has all the English players? You know, I'm not too for sure. If you give me a moment after we do this raid, I can tell you. But if you hop on the Discord for the Lost Ark, they will tell you. I just don't know off the top of my head. The only thing I know is what server I'm on. But yeah, she thought, like, I'm like, Momo, like, that's not how it works. You know? Like I said, I don't mind when people have preferences, but it's like, oh, it's because this. I'm like, who'd you have to this? Your mom? My mom's doctor. I'm like, is your mom a fucking dermatologist? That's like, oh, man. Like, nigga. You can't make this shit up, can you? But she young, she'll be different in 10 years. I don't know if she'll be scornful or whatever, but I think she'll be dramatically a different person based on how her life turns out and what happens. Have you ever had somebody say some shit, like the reason why they don't like a certain type and they list a really stupid reason why they don't date certain people? Have you ever talked to somebody that's like said like, oh, I don't date this type of person or like this, and then they give like and you're like, okay, that makes, I mean, okay, people have preferences, but then they say some real stupid ass shit about that type of people. You're like, what? Can you speak Korean? Hell no, I cannot speak Korean. I can copy paste Korean. My friend my boo friend, and I say friend because she's not boo because she's making fun of me right now. she understands a lot of Korean to the point where when she came out here to Vegas and we went to the Korean barbecue, she started saying certain things and pronouncing Korean words, and the guy was like, "You speak Korean?" And he was like, he totally ignored me and just focused in on her. What are you into? And I'm like, you ain't shit for showing off your Korean. She's Dominican, by the way, but she follows the K-pop scene so well. She knows her Korean, bro. She knows all the new artists, all the stuff. And then she teases me that I don't know. 997? Hey, 1 second. I'll put you on hold. YOLO. Okay. That was the doctor's office trying to get a bill. I'm like, look, my insurance company paid you what it paid. Y'all ran a bunch of extra shit you know they wouldn't cover. I ain't paying to eat a dick. Tell her you're 290 in Lost Ark, then she'll ask me what are all the other Korean levels at, and I'd tell her like 340, and she'd be like, gotta get your game up. She's like that. She's smart. Sometimes too smart, but she's smart. If she was like a person who didn't know much about video games, I probably could pull the wool over her eyes, but she games a lot, bro. She knows item levels and shit. She was like, what's the max item level? I'm like, this level. She's like, you ain't shit. I'm like, okay. But she doesn't mean it in a hurtful, spiteful way. She's just, she's a Ravenclaw, so, I mean, that's expected. She's an asshole. But she's smart. But you're smart. It's okay to be an asshole and be smart. I'm a Hufflepuff, so she walks all over me. But however, she is the person when you're fighting a monster, if she sees like a herb or something she can collect on the ground, she'll go grab it. Like if you're playing Monster Hunter, bro, instead of like hitting them with like the sleep dart or the poison, she'll be over there collecting all the stuff. And we're like, what are you doing? She's like, shh, I gotta collect this. She has a problem collecting shit. I don't judge her though, I just accept her for all who she is and all her faults. The medals don't matter, even though you got Gatherer. Let me put it to you this way, right? She'll get Gatherer Maniac, and most people might get that little play card for Monster Hunter, like maybe 30 items gathered. One time she had like 100 or like 200 something, and we're just like, what the fuck? How much shit did you gather? She's about that crafter life. She also owns her own house in Final Fantasy XIV, which is very expensive. Yes, yes, I know, and you linked it to me, and I saw how cool your house was. Yeah, to a certain extent. It's really enjoyable, though. When it comes out, I think everybody's going to be on it and play it and enjoy it. You just had to send me a picture of you just... Why does your Flareon just look like it's ready to go? Like, this is my gym, nigga. You ain't shit. You realize the kids have barely been gone for like an hour since you dropped them off at your mom's. You had a no shit level that I can't see you coming back from. I don't want to judge you, but damn. Yeah, I do.